Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to a very special weekend edition of the Chuckload of Comics Fandom here on YouTube. Chuckload of Comics is your source for nerd news, comic book talk, movie reviews, everything happening in the world of fandom over the past 7 days. We break it down for you every single Sunday, and fandom's going on right this second. So there's a lot of nerd news we're going to break down for you guys this week. It was a massive week. Ben Affleck returning as Batman in the new Flash movie. We're going to break down all the details, what was said from director Andy Muschietti about Batman's role in the upcoming Flashpoint film. DC Fandom is going on right now, and they added live audience Q&A panels coming up in just a couple weeks on September 12th. So not just a pre-recorded shit show. It's actually going to have some live features. We're going to break down exactly where you can find them and how you can participate in those. AMC Theaters opened its doors this week, and we're talking about the social distance seating scenario over at AMC Theaters. If you tried to buy a ticket this week and it didn't look very socially distanced, we are here to tell you exactly how that's going to work, so you can safely go back to an AMC movie theater if you wear a mask. So more details on that in just a second. Olivia Wilde signing on to direct a female-led Sony Marvel project. Everybody thinks it's Spider-Woman, but we're going to give you the exact details of what was said from Deadline, and if we think it's actually Spider-Woman or if it's something else. And finally, speaking of female-led action movies, Black Widow was listed this week on VOD services. What? That's right. There's a possibility Black Widow might be hitting streaming rather than a theatrical release. We're going to give you the details of what was announced and what was found and what was sneaked and snuck out about Black Widow VOD release this week. So a lot of stuff to break into this week. Before we get into that, guys, we just wrapped up Mainframe Comic-Con this last weekend. If you head on over to the YouTube channel for Mainframe Comic-Con, we are starting to chop up the convention, post the solo panels. It's going to take us quite a while because we have 65 panels, about 90 hours of content we got to chop up and post to the YouTube channel. But some good ones are already up there. We got Tom King up there. We got Donnie Cates up there. We got Chip Zdarsky up there. We got the Justice League table read. We got a lot. So we're adding videos daily to the Mainframe YouTube channel. So check it out right here on YouTube. Just look for Mainframe Comic-Con. Go to the official Mainframe Comic-Con YouTube channel for those solo videos. More added every single day. So we got a lot of stuff we're going to break into this week. So let's not waste any more time. This is this week's Nerd News. Check it out. All right, guys, the biggest news that dropped this week and really this month and really this whole past quarter, in my opinion, is the announcement that happened this week that Ben Affleck will be returning as the Caped Crusader in the upcoming Flash movie. This came out right before the DC Fandom thing dropped. It just happened this week. Coming back for one more film, with Affleck agreeing to return as Bruce Wayne in the upcoming big screen version of The Flash. At the time of this taping, we have not had the Flash panel at DC Fandom, so this might be we're a little late to the game, but it's still pretty interesting. It's worth picking apart. Now, it's also important to note that this will not disrupt the Batman film starring Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson will remain to be the future of the Batman franchise. This is more going to be sort of a cameo in the upcoming Flash movie. Shauna, did you ever think you would see this day that Batfleck would return?
Would be back? No, I didn't. I'm glad though. I like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Love
I think he's great. He's the perfect Bruce Wayne, the perfect old Bruce Wayne. I think he's got the look. He's got the chiseled jaw. He's built for it.
Exactly.
I think it's great.
He is Batman. He's not our best Bruce Wayne, but he's a damn good Batman, and he is a damn good Bruce Wayne as well.
He's a good Bruce Wayne.
He's a real dark Bruce Wayne, which I really dig.
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting to note, Ben Affleck got the script at the end of this past week. So he just got the script like 2 days ago at the time of this taping, and he got the script. He read the script, and he agreed to join the project.
Sweet.
Didn't think I'd see the day.
I know.
This actually is official. It came from the story broke on Vanity Fair this week, so it didn't come from Bob's movie blog. This is an official press release from an interview at Vanity Fair. Director Andy Muschietti, who's going to be directing the new Flash movie. You know, he directed Stephen King's It.
Oh, so good.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Great horror director. DC likes their horror directors, man. It's funny.
It's great, though.
But so Andy Muschietti was talking to Vanity Fair, and he said a lot of stuff. I'm going to read all kind of his quotes for you. First thing he said his Batman has a dichotomy that is very strong which is his masculinity because of the way he looks and the imposing figure that he has and his jawline, he said. But he's also very vulnerable. He knows how to deliver from the inside out that vulnerability of Bruce Wayne. He said he just needs a story that allows him to bring that contrast to balance. So it sounds like he's going to really be kind of walking the tight wire between total badass and very vulnerable human being.
That's perfect. That's
perfect
Ben
for Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
Perfect Batfleck.
If you saw that basketball movie that Batfleck did,
Yeah.
he can play a vulnerable person.
Absolutely, especially nowadays. He's all alcoholic
He's kind of a
recovery
vulnerable
and stuff
person
like
to begin
that.
with.
Yeah, right.
Ben Affleck. Well, Andy Muschietti went on to say, I think this is actually really interesting. He said he's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie. The interaction and relationship between Barry Allen and Affleck's Bruce Wayne will bring an emotional level that we haven't seen before. He said it's Barry's movie, it's Barry's story, but their characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the emotional vessels of the movie. That's where the Affleck Batman kicks in. So it sounds like it's going to be a really almost father figure-esque kind of a character. And I think we have a photo. Like
We do.
going
here.
back to him and like the relationship with him and Barry Allen
Yeah.
was really, really cool in the Justice League movie.
Yeah. Very reminiscent of Iron Man and Spider-Man, like you pointed out earlier.
Exactly.
With Tony Stark, yeah.
It's kind of that Tony Stark, Peter Parker, Spider-Man Far From Home relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't expect he's going to get a lot of screen time, but it does say, and Andy Muschietti said he's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie. So I think we're going to see a lot of tear-jerking scenes between Affleck and Barry Allen.
Yeah. Sorry, I put a wrong quote up there.
That's okay. Well, he went on to say, I'm glad to be collaborating with someone who has been on both sides of the camera, too. He understands.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's really excited to work with somebody who knows how to direct, knows how to write, knows how to produce. Because, Batfleck was going to be, he was going to write the new Batman franchise. That fell the way of the dinosaur. So he knows the character. And it sounds like Muschietti is really excited to work with him.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm also excited because the Flashpoint movie is going to deal very heavily in time travel, very heavily in alternate realities and alternate universes,
of course.
History changing, future changing type storyline. We also know that Michael Keaton's Batman is also said to appear. That dropped a while ago, but it's worth remembering that we're going to see a lot of different Batman, not just Batfleck. We're going to get Bat Keaton.
Oh, it's going to be so cool. Do you think we'll see like George Clooney? Bat Clooney?
I don't.
No,
I don't think we'll see Bat Clooney. I don't think we'll
just these
see
two.
Bat Kilmer.
No, Val Kilmer does not look like Batman
Not
anymore.
going to happen. I don't think we'll see like Kevin Conroy or anybody like that in the movie. But who knows?
Yeah.
I'll be happy just to get Affleck and Keaton.
Right?
Give it to me. So, guys, what do you think? I know this news is like all over the internet now. So if you're watching this video, I'm just kind of curious. What do you think about Affleck? What do you think about Justice League? What do you think about the future of the Bat? Or you think this is going to be a one and done and we'll never see him again? So sound off in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Speaking of DC and the DC Fandom right behind me. DC Fandom is currently going on at the time of this taping. It just kicked off at noon today.
Yep.
If you're watching this on Sunday, we taped it on Saturday. Not loving it.
I know, right?
I like the stuff that's coming out of it. We're getting cool trailers as we knew we would.
Yeah.
Still don't like the pre-recorded aspect of it. Don't like the crazy overly produced look of it.
Don't like the fact that they're only like 10-minute long panels.
Real short panels.
So weird.
They're more just sort of pre-recorded little announcements.
Yeah.
I mean, cool content. But if you wanted more of a live mainframe Comic-Con-esque element, you are in luck. They decided to go ahead and take the DC Fandom, split it into two shows. So going on right now is the pre-recorded stuff, but a couple weeks from now, starting September 12th, the weekend of September 12th, they're going to be doing live audience Q&A panels.
Sweet.
So they got a lot of them. How you find them? It's kind of hard to navigate the Fandom website right now.
It's kind of
before it started,
easy.
it was really easy. They had lots of tabs, but now that it's going on, if you go to Fandom, all you see is a video player.
Right.
After that happens, they'll probably go back to having all the tabs up. So when that happens, find the Uverse tab.
Like AT&T Uverse?
Not AT&T, or YOUVERSE.
Yeah.
Go to that tab, and you're going to see the full schedule of the Q&A, live audience Q&A panels. They got a lot of good ones. They got cast and crew of Aquaman, cast and crew of Suicide Squad, The Flash, Wonder Woman. Jim Lee's doing some live audience Q&A panels. They haven't announced who's appearing in these Q&A panels. All it says is cast and crew. So we don't know exactly who's appearing besides the obvious ones like Jim Lee. There's one where they show a picture of Margot Robbie, so I assume that means she's going to be a part of it.
I would have to assume.
So, pretty exciting.
Yeah.
If you like Mainframe Comic-Con, you might like the DC fandom. Maybe not as much.
The next part of DC fandom.
Yeah. So I'm curious, guys, what do you think about DC fandom? Are you enjoying it? What are your favorite trailers to have dropped from the fandom? There's quite a bit. They kicked it off with a bang with the new Wonder Woman trailer. We got the Suicide Squad featurette and the cast trailer that dropped. Really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited about all the cool stuff coming out of fandom. I just prefer the live
Absolutely.
element, not this super duper overly produced. I don't like this. I know it's the fandom, like you were saying earlier. But it's just weird. This big giant space with these teeny weeny little hosts
people,
standing
I
there in
know.
this big giant digital virtual
I know.
set. It's like, it's distracting.
It is distracting.
Too much
That's exactly
going on.
It.
So, guys, what do you think about DC fandom? Does it hold a candle to Mainframe?
No.
I don't think it does.
I don't either.
But hey, we didn't have Aquaman and James Gunn and stuff like
true.
that. But anyway. So let's sound off in the comment section. What do you think about DC fandom? We would love to hear it. Speaking of movie theaters,
Yeah.
the king of the transition here, Shauna.
I know you are.
Speaking of movie theaters, nobody was speaking of movie theaters. AMC Theaters opened its doors worldwide, almost worldwide,
Almost.
nationwide. It opened most major cities. AMC Theaters opened up this week. Tickets for New Mutants went on sale. They've got all those classic films. It's the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. You know, it came out
That's
in
awesome.
1980. So it's 40 years of Empire. We got our tickets for Empire. We got our tickets finally for New Mutants.
Yeah.
Very excited, but the most important thing that everybody is wondering is how are they doing the social distancing? Because if you go to the app, if you go to the website, you'll see all tickets are pre-purchased. All seats are pre-reserved.
Yeah.
You got to pre-reserve your seat, but if you look at the map, there's
looks
not
like
a lot of
everything's
seats
open.
X'd out,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
You
how
can
are they
see right
spacing
here
people
an
out?
empty theater, and it's just completely every seat's open.
Some theaters are completely open. Some theaters, every other row
Yep.
is X'd out, but none of the people next to you are X'd out. So I'm looking at
Yeah.
this, I'm like, I don't want to purchase a ticket.
I know.
Well, we rolled the dice, bought tickets for New Mutants, and we're happy to report that here's how it works.
Yep.
So when you pick your ticket, you know, it goes from gray to red.
Yep.
And then at the point of your purchase, when you go to check out, it automatically X's out all the seats around you.
Perfect.
So that's pretty cool.
Perfect.
So it's not illustrated very well on the website when you first go to it, but when you click your seats, no matter whether you're getting 6 seats for you and all your friends, or if you're just getting 1 seat, it automatically blocks all the seats around you.
Fantastic.
So that's pretty cool.
That is cool, but the thing I don't like, I feel like it should be blocking at least 2 seats to the left and right of you, not just 1.
Good point.
I mean, I get
6
that-
feet.
Yeah, it's supposed
That's
to be
the
6
rule,
feet.
right?
And we already went back and looked at some theaters that are more full than others, like the pre-sales for Tenet, and there are people that purchase a seat right next to the blocked out one. So there's a spot in that theater currently where it's person blocked out seat
Yeah.
person. So how does that
Well, that's not
work?
6 feet. That's
I
like if
know.
you think of an average movie theater seat is about
Yeah.
2.5 feet, at least do 2 to make
Yeah.
almost 6 feet,
So-
5 feet.
But
I
we'll
don't get that.
be happy to report back to you because we are going twice this week.
We will. We're going to go see the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, and we're going to go see New Mutants on Thursday, so expect our full review of New Mutants finally
A movie review?
on Chuckload of Comics. Very, very
Woohoo!
excited. So look for that movie review on Friday. Let us know in the comment section. What do you think? Is that enough? Is that enough to bring you back to the movie theater, having it spaced out like that? Or is it just, you're just still not doing it, still not into it? Really curious what you guys think. So sound off in the comment section about if this is enough to kind of get your asses back in the seats, as it
Right.
were. Speaking of movies,
That's a good segue.
king of transitions right here, Olivia Wilde. It was announced this week that she has signed on to direct a female-led Sony Marvel project. Everybody's thinking, oh my God, it's Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman.
And it very well could be Spider-Woman, but it's important to note at the time of this taping, it has not been announced that it is Spider-Woman. But it is Olivia Wilde. It is official she signed on to do a female-led Sony Marvel project. We're going to read to you what Deadline said about this week. But before we do that, to analyze this, you really got to take a look at all of the Sony Marvel films that are currently in
There's
pre-development.
so many.
And they're mostly female-led
Yeah.
Sony Marvel properties. Well, you got Kraven.
Yep.
Not a female-led
No.
film at all, but you got Kraven, who I think is going to make an appearance in Morbius, but that's just
Okay.
me. You got Black Cat.
Yeah.
Could be Black Cat. You got Silver Sable.
Yep.
Could be Silver Sable. You got Night Watch, which I don't know anything about Night Watch.
Nope, and that is not female-led, so
Not
nope.
female-led as far as I know. We do know we have Silk coming up,
Ah, true.
which is a female-led film. We got Jackpot, who is a female-led film. Jackpot has been a character who I don't know a ton about her,
Yeah.
but she was like Gwen Stacy was Jackpot, Mary Jane was Jackpot. So that's another female-led one.
Yeah.
You got Madam Web, which was officially announced that I believe is going to happen right after Morbius as well.
Okay.
I think we'll probably see her in Morbius. And then, so that's a female-led one. And then, of
Yeah.
course, you got Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
So of those, like 7 or 8 that I mentioned, 6 of them are female-led films. So it
Yeah.
could be any of them.
Absolutely.
So here's what Deadline actually said. Deadline said this week, sources tell Deadline that Olivia Wilde has closed a deal to direct and develop a secret Marvel film project revolving around a female character in the Marvel Universe. While not confirmed, it is expected that the story will be centered on Spider-Woman. So a lot of gray going on in that story. Secret film.
Big secret.
Not confirmed.
Right.
Sources tell. But it very well could be Spider-Woman. But like I said, there's 6 other female-led films
Yeah.
in the Sony Marvelverse that it totally could be.
Absolutely, especially if they're going to be appearing in Morbius. I mean, it kind of makes more sense that those other characters would appear in their own independent films before Spider-Woman, but
Right?
who knows?
Who knows? It probably is going to be Spider-Woman. Shauna, thoughts on Olivia Wilde as a director, as a person?
I love her. I think she's great, you know?
Me too.
And I know her first movie, Booksmart, or first directorial debut. I thought the movie was perfectly
It
fine.
was phenomenal. Well, it wasn't
Yeah.
phenomenal. People love that movie. I thought it was perfectly good. Didn't
It was
blow
well directed,
me away,
and you know
but it was
she,
well
she got
directed.
those great performances from those
The
girls.
casting
so
was
it's like,
phenomenal, and she
yeah.
did pull some amazing characters
Yeah,
out of her cast for
so
sure. Well,
I'm all for it.
it says that she's going to develop and direct, so she's probably going to take on a producerial role.
Yeah.
Maybe help with the script writing a little bit. I don't know
Cool.
how much she knows about Spider-Man, but
Maybe we'll be surprised.
I don't know. So, guys, what do you think in the comments section? This at the time of this taping, it isn't official. Maybe it's official by Monday, and we're already completely late to the game. I don't know. But sound off in the comment section. What do you think of Olivia Wilde? What do you think about her taking on a female-led Sony Marvel project? We'd love to hear it. So, final story of the day. This has been a big show.
Right?
Speaking of female-led Marvel movies,
Man, there it is again.
crushing these transitions. This story, Black Widow, was listed this week on VOD streaming services.
What?
Can you believe it?
What?
Well, this story comes from Mainframe News, a article written by Annie Banks. If you guys didn't know, Mainframe Comic-Con, not only the #1 fan event on the planet, but it's also a very reputable news outlet.
Absolutely.
So this story comes from Annie Banks. I'm pretty much just going to read most of the story for you. But she did her best Jimmy Olsen and went out and really got the dirt
Nice.
on this one. She said, there have been gambles, bets, and predictions made about the fate of Marvel's latest film, Black Widow, and where it would ultimately land in terms of its premiere. After its delay from its May 1st released slate, fans have been pushing for a Disney Plus debut, whereas it is still projected to release in theaters on November 6th. I don't know who's pushing.
I don't either because
For a Disney
I want to
Plus-
see an action movie, a superhero movie in the theater. So
I do not want to see this thing on VOD.
I mean, we have this tiny TV behind you. That's what we watch our movies on. I'd much rather see it in the theater. But granted, there are a lot of people with huge, TVs and theaters
Yeah.
in their homes.
Well,
so.
that surprised me when I read that part of the article, but
Uh-huh.
she went on to say she said over 80% of Marvel fans
Wow.
who had recorded their responses through an official Marvel poll had said that they would rather watch Black Widow from the comfort of their homes. This means that with Black Widow falling into the hands of another VOD doesn't seem to bother the general public. They just want to watch the film somehow. That shocks me.
That absolutely shocks me.
I don't know, man. An official Marvel poll said over 80% of fans would rather watch it at home. I call bullshit on
I
that.
know.
Not bullshit on your story, Annie, but
Nope. We know you're good.
bullshit on that poll, man.
I know, right?
So where did this come from?
Yeah.
Where did Annie Banks find this thing on VOD? It was on a website called, I believe, moviesanywhere.com or moviesanywhere.edu, whatever the fuck it is. Movies Anywhere has already listed the movie on their site with a November 6th release date, which just so happens to be the same date it's supposed to release in theaters. This was reported by Jeremy Conrad of MCU Cosmic. So I don't know anything about MCU Cosmic. I don't know who Jeremy Conrad is.
Yeah, or what was it, Movies Anywhere?
Movies Anywhere?
Never heard of it in my life.
Maybe they're popular. I don't know. I've never heard of Movies Anywhere, but it is officially listed on moviesanywhere.com. Annie
so.
Banks went on to write, an automated listing has similarly been posted for Mulan, which also received an updated release date, standing as a telltale sign of what may be to come. Disney has not explicitly spoken up on the streaming site acquiring Black Widow, of course talking about Movies Anywhere, as it's still said by Disney and Marvel that their movie will hit silver screens in the late fall. So Disney's saying they recognize the fact that this is on this website, but they're not saying how it wound up.
Denying it.
They're not confirming. Well, they're still saying officially that it is going to hit theaters, but
that doesn't mean it can't be
they're not
available
saying
streaming as well.
how this wound up. It could be a day and date type situation, just like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can make money both ways, why not try it? Although I don't understand why they would do it through a different streaming service. I mean, they have their own.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, the signs still remain unclear about the future of the standalone solo film that has been awaited by fans for over a decade, but there is a chance that the highly demanded movie is gearing up for release in VOD. I don't see it happening.
I don't
But
either.
the fact that it popped up here raises the question of, is it even possible?
Yeah.
So-
It's definitely possible. If the fact that Disney is aware that it's listed on this site and it's not immediately taken
It hadn't
down,
been taken down.
then it's obviously a possibility.
Very, very interesting. But I don't see Disney Plus not putting it on Disney Plus.
No, of course not.
Because, I mean, that's what they're doing with Milan. But anyway, guys, this has been the longest freaking show we've done in quite a while. So that's it, guys. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think about a possible Black Widow released on VOD? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Would you watch it? Are you one of the 80% of people who would rather see it at home? Sound off in the comment section. We'd love to know. So, guys, that's our whole show. Thank you so much for watching Chuckload of Comics. Join us here every single Sunday for a breakdown of all the nerd news, everything happening in the world of fandom every single week. It's like headline news for geeks. And we will see you here next Sunday. Enjoy the fandom, and we'll see you here in approximately 7 days. Have a fantastic week.
Bye-bye.